Have you ever inherited something that turned out to be more trouble than it was worth? Well, let me tell you the story of Modupe, a humble schoolteacher from the bustling town of Ibadan. Her life was about to be turned upside down. It all started when Modupe's aunt passed away, leaving her a property called Peace Mansion. The name was a bit of a joke, honestly. When Modupe arrived, she didn't find peace. She found chaos. The walls were cracked, the paint was peeling, and the air was thick with the sound of constant arguments. The tenants were always at each other's throats. There was Mama Favor, whose voice could probably shatter glass, and Papa Success, who seemed to have a problem with everyone and everything. It was a mess. But Modupe, bless her heart, saw potential. Standing amidst the noise and decay, she made a solemn promise to herself, and to the memory of her aunt, she would restore this house and bring true peace back to Peace Mansion. It was a promise that would lead her down a path she never could have imagined. With her sleeves rolled up and a determined spirit, Modupe hired a team of local workers to begin the much-needed renovations. They started with the basics, patching up the crumbling walls and tackling the ancient, leaky plumbing. As the men worked, pulling out old pipes and chipping away at plaster, they started finding things, strange things. Tucked away in the walls and floorboards were bundles of hidden wires, dozens of old phones, and a shocking number of SIM cards. It was clear this wasn't just a house in disrepair. It was a house with a dark secret. Someone had been using Peace Mansion as a base for some kind of criminal operation. The discovery sent a shiver down Modupe's spine. Who was involved? Were the tenants a part of it? That very night, her fears were confirmed in the most terrifying way. As she was locking up, a figure emerged from the shadows, his face covered by a mask. In a low, threatening voice, he warned her to stop the renovations immediately. He told her to pack her bags and leave, or she would face serious consequences. Modupe's heart pounded in her chest. She was terrified, but something inside her refused to give in. This was her house now, and her aunt had entrusted it to her. More than that, she felt a burning need to know the truth. Whatever was happening here, she was going to uncover it. She wouldn't be scared away. The next day, still shaken but more determined than ever, Modupe sought help. She remembered hearing about a wise old handyman in the area, a man everyone called Baba Technician. He was known for being able to fix anything and for his sharp, observant mind. She explained her situation, showing him the strange wires she'd found. Baba Technician's eyes narrowed as he examined them. He recognized the setup immediately. These weren't for regular electricity or telephone lines. They were for something else entirely. Together, they followed the complex web of wires, tracing them through hidden conduits in the walls until they led to a section of a wall that seemed oddly plain and hollow. With a few careful taps, they confirmed their suspicion. It was a false wall. Using a crowbar, they pried it open, revealing a hidden, dust-filled room. The air inside was stale and smelled of old plastic. The small space was crammed with equipment. Car batteries connected to power inverters, stacks of burner phones, and piles of secondhand clothes that looked like disguises. It was a criminal's hideout. Later that evening, while clearing out her aunt's personal belongings, Modupe stumbled upon an old diary. She opened it, and her blood ran cold as she read the final entry, written just days before her aunt's death. It said, "If anything happens to me, let Modupe uncover the truth." In that moment, everything clicked into place. This wasn't just about a secret operation. Her aunt's death wasn't from natural causes. It was murder. Now, Modupe knew she was dealing with something far more dangerous than she'd imagined. She started watching the tenants more closely, her eyes open to every small detail. She noticed how Mama Favor, despite her loud and boisterous personality, would often slip away for quiet, secretive phone calls. One afternoon, Modupe saw her. Mama Favor was meeting someone in the alley behind the house, and that someone was the same masked man who had threatened her. It was a chilling realization. The man was one of Mama Favor's relatives, and they had been working together, trying to scare Modupe away so they could continue their illegal activities undisturbed. Gathering all her courage, Modupe decided to confront them. She walked right up to Mama Favor and accused her of being involved. The woman's face turned from shock to fury. The argument exploded. Papa Success and other tenants ran out to see what the commotion was about. As they shouted, the masked man appeared, trying to intimidate Modupe again, but this time, she wasn't backing down. The confrontation quickly turned into a chaotic brawl. But Modupe had a plan. While the fight was distracting everyone, Baba Technician, who had been waiting for his cue, made a call. He had already gathered enough evidence to expose the entire scheme to the authorities. Within minutes, the sound of police sirens filled the air. As officers stormed the compound, Papa Success made a run for it. He was caught behind the house, frantically trying to hide a bag filled with stolen phones. The game was up, with the criminals, including Mama Favor and her accomplice, taken away in handcuffs. A strange quiet fell over Peace Mansion. The remaining tenants stood in stunned silence. They had lived alongside these people, argued with them, and had no idea what was truly happening behind the scenes. One by one, they approached Modupe, their faces filled with shame and regret for how they had treated her. They apologized for their behavior and begged for her forgiveness. Modupe looked at their faces, and instead of anger, she felt a sense of relief. She smiled, a genuine warm smile, and said, "Peace Mansion will finally live up to its name." In the weeks that followed, the transformation was incredible. The house was fully repaired, and a fresh coat of paint made it look bright and new. But the real change was inside. The arguments were replaced with friendly greetings. The tension was replaced with laughter. The compound, once a battlefield, was now a community. Every evening, Modupe would sit on a chair by the front gate, watching the children play and listening to the peaceful chatter of her tenants. She had faced danger and uncovered a dark secret, but through it all she had held on to her courage. And in the end, that courage had brought peace home. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next episode. We'll see you in the next video.